Hey everybody, it's Brian.
And I'm Karen.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us today. We got something really great to talk about. As always, we're going to be talking about either buying or selling a house. Today we're going to talk about selling and something that you can do for your open house that can help you to get more offers. And before I forget, if you can hear me okay, if you can hear us okay, if you don't mind, just type yes or okay or something in the comments so we know everything's all right and working. And so we actually just had an open house over the weekend, and we're going to be sharing with you something that we do with the open houses, especially if it's competitive, meaning, you know, your home is up for sale and you're doing an open house, and then like right down the road there's another open house or two or three. You see this a lot when there's a condo complex or a townhome complex, but you also see it, when there's a community of homes and you got similar, styles or floor plans or whatever. So this is a trick we're going to teach you that'll help you with that. Before we get started, I do want to mention, if you're serious about buying or selling a home, give us a call. You might want us to help you to buy or sell. You may not. But either way, we're happy to give you some advice and point you in the right direction. And to get scheduled with us, you can just go to showcasecall.com and click a few buttons and get scheduled. So, all right, let's get to it. So we had an open house this weekend.
Absolutely.
We had a lot of great traffic through on Saturday and Sunday.
Yes, we did.
Beautiful day. One of the things that sellers, worry about sometimes is competition. Especially if there's the exact same floor plan for sale right down the road, or maybe a very similar floor plan, right down the road. And we ran into that this weekend. I think there was three others?
Yeah, 3 others.
Yeah, so there was 4 open houses going on in the same community this weekend. So anything you can do to set your home apart is going to help get an offer in for your house instead of an offer for your neighbor that's down the road. So that's what we're going to talk about today. It's a real simple trick. And before we get into it, if you are just joining us, what can they do?
They can go ahead and type
showcasecall.com. Yep, yeah. So just go there and you can sign up to talk with us. We'll be happy to answer your questions, point you in the right direction. If you want to work with us, that's cool. If you end up not wanting to work with us, that's okay too. A lot of times just getting together on a phone call is a good way to get things started. So you can do that. And let's get into it. We want to teach you something really good to use. What we're going to be talking about today is this sheet right here. And so when you've got an open house and there's, other houses or townhomes or condos or whatever down the road, other properties that are competing against you. A lot of times the buyers, they're coming in and they're just kind of looking at the place, and it's a lot to take in at one time. And then they leave and they go check out the other places. And your home might have some very distinct advantages. So we're just going to run through these here and give you an example of what we did with this home this weekend. So what you want to accomplish by having this, so let me spell this out a little better. This is just a very simple black and white flyer. It's not fancy at all. It's intentionally not fancy. Sometimes when you have the nicer flyers, like here's one from this weekend. It's a nice flyer. Sometimes when you have these nicer flyers, what happens is people look at them, but they're pretty, and they look a lot like everybody else's flyers that they picked up. So sometimes important things don't pop out at them. So what we've started using is, along with, a pretty flyer like this, we'll also give the people that walk through the home something like this, which is just black and white, and it's going to point out 4 or 5 or 6 or 7, whatever it is, number of items that this person should really take into consideration if they're trying to decide to buy this home or the other one. So what we want to do is we want to point out some very important things to them. So hopefully I explained what we're talking about now. I kind of missed that point. But when you have an open house and people are coming through, you want to have this type of flyer prepared so that you can give it to them in addition to the pretty and slick stuff, so that important things pop out, so that now they're really going to consider your home. So like, here's a few things that we put on here, if you want to just kind of go through some of them.
Newer windows, sliding door, new appliances.
Well, and let's talk about those windows and sliding door, because that was one you actually, pointed out to me when I stopped by on Saturday. So windows and doors are a very, very common home improvement that buyers make, like almost as soon as, like a lot of times within the first 6 to 12 months of moving into buying the house.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it can get expensive.
And that's where the thing is. So if this property over here is listed for say $500,000, and this property over here is at $490 or $495, but the one for $500,000 has all not brand new, but newer windows, newer sliding door, things like that, then that buyer should be made aware of that, so that they can realize that that's got additional value compared to the one that's for sale that doesn't have that kind of value. Correct. Otherwise they may just be looking at them as being the same. They may think, well, this is the same as that one because it's same community, same square footage, yes, same bedrooms. But you might have a $5,000 or $10,000 upgrade, or maybe more. I don't even know what the windows are anymore. But this is something that most homeowners are going to do anyway. So if you can already get it done on the home, that's something that you should consider.
What appliances? A lot of the times the seller would like to take their refrigerator, or sometimes they'll want to tell the buyer, hey, you have the option to purchase it from me or whatever. Or the buyer might have their own refrigerator. But what happens when there's only, you have a much bigger refrigerator than what it really, the space is for. That's another thing. It's included, whereas the other one, it may not. Yeah. We're not saying, that's, well, in some homes, a refrigerator could be $7,000-8,000, but it's not all the time. So no popcorn ceiling, that's another thing you want to take a look at.
Yeah, and kind of going back to the appliances and refrigerator, just to be kind of like specific about this home. So like this seller, she actually did a complete renovation of the kitchen, new countertops, new cabinets, recessed lighting, new stove, new microwave over the stove with the hood, dishwasher, and then like Karen was also saying, she went ahead and got a new refrigerator. All of this stuff is like practically brand new. You can't really say it's brand new because it's not like it's
coming out of a box.
It's not coming out of a box. Yeah. But I don't even think the oven's been used. No. All the stuff is like it's like 6 to 8 months old or less. Yeah. So anyway, she did all of this remodeling, and now she's going to move back to Maine. And so that's how that kind of happened. But when somebody comes in and takes a look at this house compared to that house, they, like Karen was saying, they may not realize the refrigerator's included, even though it says it on the fancy flyer. And it says it in the notes for MLS so that other realtors can see. Sometimes they overlook that. And if this is, let's say this is a $1,000 refrigerator, which is, pretty common for a lot of stainless steel fridges nowadays. So let's say the refrigerator was $1,000 and it's included, and the home is priced at $500,000, and this home over here is $500,000, but there's no fridge. Again, if you can stack all of these things on top of each other, it's going to make for a really compelling argument to buy your property instead of buying the neighbor's property. Right. Yeah. So, and we got a few more to cover, but before we do, really quick, just want to let you know, if you're serious about buying or selling a home, give us a call. We'd love to talk with you. We'll give you some advice, point you in the right direction. You may find out that you really like us and you want us to help you to buy or sell, and that's cool. If you don't like us, that's okay too. You don't have to work with us. But a lot of times just getting on the phone, talking through some things that you might be concerned about or stuck with or whatever, a lot of times that can be really helpful for you, and we'd love to help you out. You can go to showcasecall.com to schedule a time to talk. Popcorn ceiling, you mentioned that one.
Popcorn ceiling.
What do most people do with the popcorn ceiling? Or a lot of people, not most.
They remove it, or they'll say, oh, it's got popcorn ceiling. That means I have to work, and that's a lot of work.
Yeah, yeah.
It is.
Yeah. And that's, again, this whole list is just stuff that sometimes people don't realize. And then later on, so if they go buy this other property, not your property, they walk into your open house, they like your house, but there's another one down the street. If they don't realize that yours doesn't have popcorn ceiling and the one down the street has popcorn ceiling, maybe something about that other home catches their eye and they end up, buying that one. Well, at that point, it's too late. It doesn't do you any good to kind of like rub it in and say, hey, I bet you wish you had bought without a popcorn ceiling now. It doesn't matter because they've already bought. And again, if you've been following us for a while, you know that we're really big on doing everything you can to get multiple offers on the house. Because as soon as you get 2 offers, it's no longer you as the seller against the buyer. Now it's buyer versus buyer. You've got a multiple counter offer situation, and now it's going to help, bring up the price. So if you can get that extra offer in, it's always going to help out. It's always going to help. So on this house, this home, in one of the bedrooms, the closet door was missing. It was like a big wide closet door, and it had been converted into kind of like shelves and kind of like a wall unit for entertainment center or whatever. But the door has been ordered. It's going to be it's a custom door. It's going to come in. It's going to get installed, and so we wanted to make sure people knew about that too. So. When they walk in, they see the place, it looks great, but in their head, they might be thinking, man, this place looks just like the one down the street, or they might be thinking, man, this place is, 5,000 more or 10,000 more compared to the one down the street. But a real simple page like this, in addition to your pretty flyer, it can help you to get an extra offer or two. And like we said, anytime you can do that, it's just going to be really, super helpful for you.
It will be.
Yeah. Real quick, if you're just joining us, because we're about to wrap it up, but we want to tell you really quick, if you're serious about buying or selling a home, give us a call. You can go to showcasecall.com to get scheduled with us. We'll point you in the right direction, give you some good advice, whether you choose to work with us or not. And if we were just going to wrap this up, what's like the main point? If we were summing this whole thing up, what would we say?
At least the features, upgrades that you've done to the property, very simple, like you said. Doesn't have to be nothing fancy.
Yeah, and actually, not fancy is going to work out better for you because you want this to really stick out.
Yes.
You want people to notice it. So just going super simple, black and white, and keeping it short and sweet will do the trick for you. So, all right, cool. Anything to add?
Nothing.
All right. We hope you guys have an awesome day.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Thanks for joining us.